players are having difficulty killing the hard mode Frostwalker right now. I have gone to public matchmaking several times, but my team got wiped by the area of effect frost mechanic of the intercept boss. You see, there are a couple of things that you need for this boss fight. First, the Frostwalker is the ultimate gear check in all void intercept battles right now. You will need to have a decent DPS in your weapon, and if possible, you will need 400,000 DPS in your weapon, or even more if you want to kill this boss. Also, don't ever think that your 10,000 defense will be useful here, as you will need to pump up those defenses to at least 40,000 so you can survive this chaotic boss fight. Now, in terms of weapon modding, by the way, weak point damage will be a blessing for this boss fight. If there is one thing I always ask my teammates to do in public matchmaking, that is focusing their fire on the weak spots of the Frostwalker. There are a couple of weak spots, but it's best that in the first few seconds of the fight, everyone should focus on destroying the helmet or the brain of the Frostwalker. Once you have destroyed these parts, you will get at least 6 embers that will drop on the floor, which are needed so you won't get wiped out by the freeze attack of the boss. Now, if you take a look at the area, there are debris suspended in the air, and it would be helpful if all of you will at least be on top of a ledge shooting down the head of the Frostwalker to destroy its helmet and remove its brain. The first few seconds of the fight will be crucial, and I strongly suggest focusing on the brain. Then after that, try to hit the sensor to destroy the shell of the Frostwalker. Don't forget to use your scan to see the rage meter of the boss, and if you can, then cling to the shoulder plates so you will not only destroy and the boss will drop some embers, but it will also down the Frostwalker for a couple of seconds, allowing you to deal more DPS to the target. Now, the rage phase of this boss is somewhat challenging, especially to console players, as you will need to destroy all these tubes on the knees of the Frostwalker. It so happens that during the rage phase, the Frostwalker moves so fast that it would take point accuracy to destroy all of his knees. So you will need to focus on destroying the knees, and at the very beginning, it's a must that before the 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the fight, you must all have 6 embers collected, or your team will get wiped out by the frost attack of the boss. So basically, you will need to destroy the weak points first and drop all 6 embers before the boss will rage, or you should take out all the knees and destroy the weak points to drop embers before the 8 minutes of the fight. This allows one Descendant to collect 5 embers first, then collect the 6th ember at the 7 minutes 40 seconds, so you will get the ember buff that will protect you from the frost attack of the boss. In 7 minutes 30 seconds, the Frostwalker will unleash the instant wipe skill, and all of you should be within the vicinity of the ember protection so you won't get frozen by the area of effect attack. Once you have succeeded this phase, the Frostwalker will get back to his usual attacks, and there is a possibility that it will rage again. Your task is to destroy some weak points again and destroy all the knees to deactivate the rage phase of the boss. Now, you will still need to focus on destroying weak points to drop embers, as players said that it will do another ice smash in the 4 minute 30 second stage of the fight. Before 4 minutes 30 seconds, one Descendant should have collected all 6 embers, so you will get ample time to group up and not get hit by the team wipe mechanic. Another thing that you should take note of is that the Descendant who will be picking up the embers should be careful, as when you pick it too early, then you get hit by attacks from the boss or from his minions, then the ember will be removed from you. If your team only drops 6 embers during the first few seconds of the fight, then it will be super problematic. I strongly suggest that the Descendant that will be picking up the embers should not receive any aggro from the boss or the trash mobs, and focus on collecting the embers before the team wipe the mechanic, and the rest should focus on destroying the weak points and dealing as much damage to the Frostwalker. Now, there is a trick wherein you can skip ember mechanic and all the crazy things that this boss will deal to the whole team. If you will be doing this boss fight, then I highly recommend trying a team of 1 Ajax with the pure tank build and 3 Glay with a duration and skill cooldown build. My team managed to take down the Frostwalker within 2 minutes 32 seconds, skipping all the crazy mechanics of the boss, and this is done by an Ajax whose main goal is to draw all the aggro and protect the 3 Glay in the team with his bubble so they can do all the damage. Now, my Glay build sucks right now, and I think I will halt farming Ultimate Bunny right now and focus on Ultimate Glay, as this Descendant is easier to get in hard mode infiltration and hard mode void intercept boss fight, since I can solo all of the bosses that have the Ultimate Glay parts using my Ajax, and I can also run hard mode infiltration mission in public with my Bunny. I think it's finally time to focus on Glay so I can have an easier time taking down the Frostwalker fight. The main goal here is to increase the duration for Glay, so the infinite ammunition of increased sensory will be at 8 seconds or even more. I am currently missing some duration module in my Glay, especially the rare maximized duration module that gives decent duration to her 3rd ability. Also, skill cooldown is a must, so you can recast her 3rd ability at the fastest time possible. Aside from that, increasing the defense of Glay to at least 30,000 or 40,000 will make a huge difference, especially since this Descendant becomes more vulnerable to damage when activating his 1st ability, which increases firearm attack damage. If you can equip Predator Instinct, then the better the damage of your Glay in the Frostwalker boss fight. Finally, health is also a must, since her 3rd ability also consumes health per cast, and then of course you can also get additional cooldown reduction and skill duration from your reactor. Simply choose the reactor with non-attribute and singular, then look for substats that have skill cooldown and skill duration up. The gold version will give you higher values, and while it's not that big, it will help and maximize your infinite ammo buff. For the weapon choice, I highly recommend the Vestigial Organ Launcher for the Frostwalker fight. This launcher is automatic and can fire multiple explosive rounds in a matter of seconds. With Glay's infinite ammunition buff, you can fire multiple rockets at Frostwalker, and this allows you to deal massive damage to the weak spots. So far, this is the weapon that can easily break those weak spots of the Frostwalker. The weapon is also really good during the enrage phase, as instead of aiming for the tubes, you only need to shoot the knees to damage those tubes and break it. Right now, my module builds suck for this gun, as I chose to build Thunder Cage and the Tamer first, but once you get to the Frostwalker boss fight, the Vestigial Organ with Glay is really a must, so you can cheese this boss intercept boss fight right now. You can check out other guides out there to get a full module set up for both Glay and the Vestigial Organ, but for the weapon, try to focus on getting as much firearm attack bonus, rounds per magazine, and then fire rate buff. The last module will be those elemental damage modules, and please don't try to give this launcher critical stats, as it only have a 1% critical hit rate. Another module that you can try is the weak point damage module, which will be handy for the Frostwalker boss fight. Another neat trick that you can do with your weapons is using 3 high power round weapon with your Glay. The main gun will be the Vestigial Organ, and the rest will either be another launcher or a sniper rifle. The other high power guns should have the general round charge improvement and the impact charge improvement, which literally converts general or impact ammunition drop to high power rounds. The Vestigial Organ has poor ammo economy, and that is why Glay is the only Descendant that can maximize it to its full potential. The ammo mutation mod will allow you to even run out of ammunition in the boss fight. This is why Ajax is also needed, as he will be the one not just protecting the 3 Glays, but also killing the trash mobs that spawn, so they will drop ammunitions for the 3 DPS monsters in your team. A huge thanks to Speaker YT for sharing this amazing tech that will give you infinite ammunition pool, helpful not just in boss fights, but in every scenario in the game. And finally, the Ajax build is my favorite body enhancement, Ajax, which gives me 30,000 health right now with 70,000 defense, perfect for supporting the 3 Glays in my team. The rest of the video will be the run wherein we'll down the boss in 2 minutes 32 seconds. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that all the information you get from here will be helpful in your Frostwalker run.
Get in my way.
Shields is down. It needs to be recharged. Shields are offline. I need to be healed. My shield.
All my senses.
Shields are offline. Shields is down. Have the injury sustained. Watch out. Stopping their attacks. know.